Steve here from Monster GY6. Just going to give you a quick tutorial here, show you how to change a jet in a 150cc carburetor. Here we have to remove the float bowl with these 4 little brass screws, like so. Okay. Let's see, just use your star screwdriver and remove them. When you get the float bowl off, just be careful. There's a little O-ring that seals the bowl. We do not want to mess this up, so just be gentle when you remove the float bowl. See, there's the O-ring. Just be careful it doesn't pop out, because when we put it back together we do not want to crimp it, otherwise we will have a leak. Just so you can see, the main jet sits right at the top of the emulsion tube. The slow jet is recessed right down in here. Pretty simple. Just take your flat screwdriver and undo it. Pop right out. Usually the jets are stamped on the top with the number, or sometimes on the side, and real easy. Just make sure it's nice and clean as well before you put the new one in. Screw it back. Be sure not to over tighten. We do not want to strip this little brass jet. If you have to clean the carburetor, the same thing. Just take out the slow jet, back it out, clean it. This is your float bowl. This is pretty simple. We won't spend too much time on this. Just be real careful when you put the bowl back on that you have not crimped or pinched that little O-ring seal. Also, when you put these screws back, be sure not to over tighten them. You don't want to strip the heads on these screws. Just a nice, just hand tighten them. That should work just fine. For those of you that are not 100% familiar with these carburetors, I'll just go through the various aspects of the carb, and again, just hand tighten these screws. Don't crank them up too much. Alright, on this side here we have the little bracket to attach the throttle cable to operate the butterfly, and here you can adjust your idle screw. We have the air screw here. Usually a good setting on these stock carburetors is you screw them all the way in, screw it all the way in, and then back it out about 1.5 turns. This black thing is your enricher or electric choke. The fuel inlet, this is just a hose over here for the drain, to drain the float bowl. Make sure this bolt here is also nice and snug. This is your vacuum line. Most of the time this will run to the intake manifold. That's where you hook it up, and this is just a breather tube. Well, I hope that helps.